When we are babies, we are born with billions and billions of neurons in our brain, more stars than there are in the sky. And those neurons are just waiting to connect, to build neural pathways, which are called synapses. But what's really important to remember and to think about is these are pathways. It's how our brain is organized. It's how our brain is structured. And the way that these pathways are built is through repetitive, consistent experiences. Experiences with our environment and experiences with the other humans in that environment. So I like to think about this as pushing a wheelbarrow from point A to point B in a garden. Say in the summertime, I'm gardening a lot because I like gardening, and I'm pushing that wheelbarrow from point A to point B because I have lots of rocks to haul and leaves and grass and weeds. What's happening to the grass and the dirt where I'm pushing that wheelbarrow? Eventually, there will be a groove formed, and the more that I move that wheelbarrow down that groove, the faster and easier it becomes because it's a well-worn path. So I can zoom from point A to point B the more that I use it. So it's repetitive experience creating a very strong neural pathway. Or I might decide actually that at the time, last summer, that was the most efficient pathway for me, but now things have changed and it's actually not the most effective. So I'm going to build a new pathway. I'm going to go from C to D and I'm going to build a new groove. And that is exactly the way that our brains work and the way that young children, usually between 0 to 3, 0 to 5, is when we have the most neurons waiting to fire. That means we have the most neurons waiting for connection to build pathways or synapses. So in early childhood, the experiences, the repetitive, consistent experiences I have are incredibly important in creating a strong, healthy garden in my brain. So we really want those of us who support children, who love them in our homes, in our child care centers, in our home visitation programs, in preschool, all of our early childhood educators. We want you to see yourselves as co-gardeners. You're helping children to figure out how to move their wheelbarrows the most effectively from point A to point B so that they can get the best outcomes. And the way they do that is through repetitive interactions with safe adults that they trust, like you. So every time you have an interaction, if it's consistent and repetitive, every time you have that interaction, you're helping to build a new pathway in the brain that is organized around nurturing, emotional regulation, positive social connection, and learning. So it's an incredibly important job to be a co-gardener, and we hope that you can find some fun with it.